Hi everyone and welcome to my place. I've had many requests from all around the world asking if I would do a tutorial called Basic Sewing. So that is what I'm going to do. And I don't know about you, whenever I do anything, I always make sure that whatever I'm doing it for is actually something useful when it's finished. So today I thought for our very first sewing lesson that I would show you how to make, well, this is just a little bag that I've made, and it's going to be for my lunch, or it could be for, I'll show you. Here's my lunch all ready to go. Lunch. Ta-da! Reusable, recycling, as it should be. So you don't need to use the plastic anymore. You can make your bag. If you didn't want to put your lunch into it, you might like to use it, make it for the kids to put their school books in, the reading books, etc. Nice and dry, neat and tidy, ready to go, and it doesn't involve very much at all. So what I've done here is I've got this fabric, and it's coated plastic tableclothing. Let me just get it out. Yeah, it's waterproof on one side, and it's plastic, so it's really strong and durable, and then it's got a little bit of a fabric backing on the inside. If you wanted to, you could actually line this bag, but I don't think that it's necessary at this stage, because as it is, when I need to wash it, I just give it a quick wash and then hang it on the line, and it dries quite neatly. Right, to begin, you will need a tape measure. You will also need some Velcro stick-on dots, which is what we're going to use to close our bag. You'll need some scissors. You'll need a pencil. This little thing here is a knitting needle, and this is very important to what we're going to be doing today. You might even need a ruler. You need a sewing machine. You need some pins. And if you're new to sewing, when you get your instruction book or manual, when you open it up, it will actually give you basic sewing techniques and how to use your machine. So I've already done, with my machine here, I've already done a tutorial on how to thread it up, but all the instructions that you need to run your particular sewing machine will come in your instruction manual. So do take time and give it a wee read. Okay, I have a strip of material in front of me here. I need my glasses just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And to make my book bag, you can make yours to whatever size. Now I'll go inches. Okay, so this is 12 inches, or what is that? 31 centimetres by 29, or just over 29, which is, what is that? 75 centimetres long. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn it over, and when you see a pattern, it will say with right sides facing. By that, what they mean is, by right sides facing, it's these two sides here. So we're just going to fold that up, and you can determine, I think with the one that I made, I folded it up to 12 inches. So fold that up to your 12 inches, and we'll just measure across there so that we are all on the same page. Just measuring across there. Hold on, we just need to take that up just a wee bit further, and then I'm just going to crease that along there, and I'm going to just make sure that my 12 inches, it's 12 inches on both sides. Now, getting your pins, you need to pin this along. Now, before you do once you've pinned it, just go back and check that you have actually got your 12 inches. And there's an old saying, like measure, measure, measure again before you cut. So just make sure that that's all done, and make sure also that your edges are all neat. You can see here that this here's just a mill over, which isn't really very good, but it'll do for now. But when you're doing yours, just make sure that you've got all of your edges neat and tidy. Now pin down that side, and then pin down this side, just a few pins. And the pinning, when you're doing your pinning, what that does is it just keeps everything all nice and firm, so that when you do go to do your sewing, everything is all the same measurement, and it's all neat and tidy so that everything is all going to be the correct measurement. Measure again, measure again. Right, let us just do some sewing here, and I'm going to do this in real time so that everybody's with me. Okay, getting rid of that. Now the first thing to do is to put it under your machine here, and on your machine it's got these little lines down the side here. They are for your hem allowances, and you just pretty much just get it all lined up, and it's just like a little sewing guide. Now I've allowed for about 1/4 centimetre seam allowance. So put your machine down, put your needle down, and it's just a matter of, you do a few stitches and then you go back, and that's called back stitching. And when by back stitching, what it means is you're going forward and then you're going to go back just a little bit, and it just gives it a little bit more reinforcement. Okay, so with your guide at one side, it's just a matter of running that stitch all the way along to the end. I hope you can hear me. And when you get to the pins, pull the pins out, and don't run over your pins, because that's when you will break your needle. And then when you get to the other end, back stitch again, lift up the foot, gently pull away the thread, and then snip. Now it's a matter of repeating it on the other side. Blow your threads out so that they're out of your way. Line that up with your stitch or your seam allowance, and then it's just a matter of running, oops, get rid of that pin, running along the line. If you're a bit stuck and you think, oh, I can't sew straight, that's where your ruler will come in handy. Okay, along to there, keep going until you get to the other end. There's the pin, take your pin out, and then when you get to that edge, just back stitch again, just to reinforce that thread. Okay, now cut off all of your threads, and what I do is I have this little wee container here that's always beside my sewing machine, so that when I've finished sewing, I just put all of the little wee threads into my bin so that they're all neat and tidy. Right, the next thing to do is use your scissors and cut a little V right up where the line goes. So your lines, and I'll just draw that with a pencil right now. So my sewing line is going to there. So that's where my stitching line is. So now all I'm doing is this is called clipping into the edges, just like so that when we bag it out, what I'm going to do now, it just means that when you press your edges out, this is very stiff, of course it is, because it's plastic coated. Now, with my knitting needle, what you'd now do is you just very gently just push that little edge out. So if I do it like this way here, you can see that that's all sort of like, it's not very neat as opposed to this, which is all neat and tidy. You achieve that by very, very gently, don't push too hard, just gently, gently, gently push that out so that you have a nice neat edge. And by cutting those little bits off there, what it means is you don't have all that bulk in the inside, and this could just be pushed out just a little bit further so that that's nice and neat. It's as neat as I can get it without being rough. Okay, when you get to here, the next thing to do is to fold that over there, that little bit of a hem over. So that there is the inside where that two seams are there and there. What I'm doing is I'm just going to use that as my hemming on the outside so that it just reinforces it just a little bit, and it makes it just a little bit neater. So folding that over, and it's about the same, whatever that seam allowance was, which was like, say, quarter of an inch, or a couple of or less than a centimetre mine is. Pin that down like that, and then it's a matter of going back to the sewing machine, putting it underneath like so, bringing down your needle into the fabric and stitching along. So we're going to do exactly the same thing, so a few stitches, and then, and I think that the other thing I should be telling you too is when it comes to your thread length, because it's a little bit thicker, I've made my stitch length about 3.5 inches. Take that out, and then when you get to the other end, just back stitch a wee bit more, cut off that little thread, go back and cut those off because we don't want any unnecessary threads in the way. And it's all, I've always found that, or well, I was taught anyway, that it's always easier to cut as you go to make everything nice and neat. That's going under the foot again. Bring your foot down, a few stitches, take it back and stitch across. How easy is this for sewing? I love it. And then just pull those bits out of there just a little bit. Back stitch that, pull it out, cut your threads off, put your threads away, make your surfaces all neat and tidy. Now the next thing that we need to do is to do exactly the same by doing a nice little hem across here. All seams should be about the same, or all hems, all seams, all hems, everything about the same. And once you get into it, you won't need to do as much pinning either. But it's just, it makes it easiest to do all your pinning now before you go. Right, put that under there, pull your threads out so that they're all neat and tidy. Bring your foot down, and then lower your foot. As you get to a pin, don't forget to take it out. Sewing right across there. How easy is sewing? Sewing's very easy. Here's another pin, get rid of that, and then take that right across to there, back stitch again, and lift up your foot, pull that out, cut away your threads, cut away that there, and now it's just a matter of, oh look at that, much nice and neat, bringing that across there, folding that down there, and then getting your Velcro dots. Any dots are a bit of fabric. Either you can get the dots or you can use the lengths like I've used here. That off there, about the same length. You could probably just put one in there, but I felt that it was much easier to do it this way, taking both of those off, bringing that up to there, and taking the backs off those, get that into there, oops, that into there, sticking that onto there, and then by doing it this way, your dots, your Velcro is in exactly the right position, so you don't have to worry about measuring. So there we have, simple little task, reusable lunch bag or a book bag or a bag for whatever you want. Simple, simple sewing, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed that. And for those of you who are new to sewing, go forth and conquer, because they are the basic things that you need to know about. I really like this. Thanks for watching. I hope I've been of assistance, and I look forward to seeing you all again another day.